What's going on, y'all? This me, Ebony. I am coming to you with a Instagram live. And let me warn you now, this is not for churchy folks. So for those of you who are saved, I mean, for real, this probably not gonna be for you. You probably either gonna unfollow me or you probably gonna either unfollow me or you probably not gonna watch this whole video. But I just wanted to get on here real quick and be as blunt as possible. For those of you who know me, I mean, like, for real, you know that even though I am a nice person, I am a sweet person. I am kind. I'm very quiet sometimes, right? But if you really know me, right, you know that I'm very honest. I am very blunt, right? To the point to where some people probably can't take the honesty. But this is going to be one of those videos, right? This is not for church folks. I keep trying to tell you, right? This is real talk. Now, I'm not saying that I am condoning this behavior, and I am not saying that I am, for it, right? I'm not saying I'm for it. I'm not saying I'm against it. This is a no judgment zone, right? But let me tell you, right? For 2021, if you are over 30 years old, right? I tell you, this is not for church folks. If you are over 30, you need to be honest, right? About who you are and where you are in life. Now, I'm going to tell you why I said this. Me and a few of my friends, right? We were having a conversation a while ago, and then it came back up recently a few days ago, right? We were having a real honest conversation about people, men and women, because women do it too, who all they want is sex, right? I said it. All they want is sex. They don't want a relationship. They don't want to get to know nobody. All they want is sex. They don't want no relationship. They don't want nothing but that. And this happens in church and out of church, right? And we were discussing, right? And me, I'm a thinker. I think about certain things and I reflect, and then I try to understand where people are coming from. I try to not judge, and I try to figure out the why behind it. What sometimes that doesn't always happen, because sometimes God doesn't give me the grace to have insight on everything. But my thing is that, and it's probably just me, right? Or maybe not just me, but the way my parents raised me, right? And thank God for my parents, right? They always told me to be honest. Be honest. Be honest in who you are. My father would always say, if you cannot tell me the truth, I cannot help you. So I've always grew up with the mindset that you got to tell people who you are. You got to be honest about, and I'm not saying I'm perfect, because, we all have our thing, whatever. But my thing is that, especially in 2021, if you are over 30, there is no reason why you should be manipulating people when you have ulterior motives, right? And I'm going to liken this to the movie of 50 Shades of Grey. I know some of you have seen this movie. I know a lot of you have seen this movie, 50 Shades of Grey. And the reason why I say this is because if you remember in the first movie, right? I think there's 3. In the first movie, there's 2 main characters, Christian Grey and Anastasia. Anastasia. Some people may pronounce it Anastasia, right? When he first met her, he was attracted to her, and he was like, man, something about her is different, whatnot, right? And this happens for women too. Some women see men and they say, they're different and whatnot. Let me try to get to know them or whatever. But if you remember, and you got to give him his props, even though they both had issues, right? You got to give Christian his props, because when he first had coffee with Anastasia, she was trying to ask questions, get to know him, and she was like, do you want to go out? Things like that. Christian Grey says, I don't do relationships. He used the F word, but I'm going to keep it churchy a little bit, right? He says, all I have is sex. That's it. Nothing else. He was like, I'm not looking. And this is right off the bat. He said, I'm not looking for no relationship. I don't want to be in a relationship. Bet. Right? What we were discussing, me and a few of my friends, what we were discussing was the fact that there are some people, men and women, who they want to manipulate people into thinking that they're one way so they can flip the switch, right? And become something else. Because some people are not comfortable with who they are, right? And I'm not saying that, being this way is terrible or being this way is fantastic. I know, right, from reading the Bible and from just observing life, not everybody is meant to be in a relationship. Not everybody's meant to be married. There are some people who they don't even want kids. There are some people out there who that they will tell you they do not want kids, right? You gotta be honest with who you are and where you want to go in life. If you don't want kids, if you don't want a relationship, right? If you don't ever want to get married again, or you don't ever want to be married, say that right from the beginning. Don't manipulate people. And I'm not saying this is a movie that people got to go watch, because like I said, this is not for church folks. If you want to stone me, you can stone me, but it happens. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because it happens, right? And you got to talk about things that happens because it's real talk. It's honesty. It's living in other people's truth. It's helping other people see that even though you are taught to live one way, there are people out there who live different lives. And I'm saying be honest, because if this is where you are, if this is who you are, be that way right off the bat. Take some notes from Christian Grey. Right off the bat, he was like, I'm not looking for a relationship. All I want to have is sex. Right? And then another thing that we discussed, as a group of people, because when you get together with your friends, you start chit-chatting and coming up with all kinds of scenarios and things like that. You discuss the whys behind the what and things like that. And then I had threw out something, and I said, you know what? There are some people, not only are they not comfortable with who they are as a people or who they are as a person, they're uncomfortable with how they will be judged. Because like I said in the beginning, right? This is people who are inside the church and who are outside the church. A lot of people who either are inside of the church and they live this way, or used to be inside of the church and they still live this way. The reason why they may be uncomfortable is because they may be having a battle, right? They're battling what they were taught growing up in church versus how they're living now, right? So those type of people may want to manipulate. And then it's another thing that I mentioned. You also have people who, and I'm going to be real honest, right? If you want to have sex or whatever, if you want to be a hoe, a prostitute, whatever. Some of you want to be hoes and prostitutes, but you want to be picky about who you sleep with. Let me tell you something. When all you want is sex and when you are living below the standards, you cannot be picky about who you sleep with. Some of you still want to sleep with high class, high maintenance, such and such. You want to be selective about who you want to sleep with. But let me tell you something. When you are about that life, not a lot of people are about that life. And this is why some of you manipulate. This is why some people manipulate, is because they know the type of person that they want to sleep with would never agree to it. So they have to try to get in some type of way. But let me tell you something. 2021, be honest about where you're coming from. Take notes from Christian Grey. Take notes from 50 Shades of Grey. I'm not saying the whole movie. I'm just saying that part, that one part when he was like, I'm not about relationships. I want this, and that, and the third. And it's not just about sex, right? You may want to hide the fact that you don't ever want kids because maybe you grew up in church and people see kids as a blessing. Maybe you just don't want kids and maybe you feel ashamed. There's nothing wrong with being who you are. If you don't ever want to have kids, if you don't want to have any more kids than what you have, say that. If you want to be in a long-term relationship but you don't ever want to get married, say that. There is somebody out there for you. You may not want them, but oh well, right? If you want to live below the standards, hey, go ahead, do you. There's people out there. You just can't always be picky and be choosy. And that's why some of you want to be manipulators, because you want to be choosy about who you getting it on with, and that may not be the case. And like I said, I'm not condoning this behavior and I'm not in agreement with it. All I'm saying is that in 2021, if you are over 30 years old, right, there should be no reason why you are out here manipulating, trying to, what is it, hook, line, and sinker people. Come on. If there's one thing all of us learned from this pandemic and being in COVID and being on lockdown, especially, you know, from March 2020 till now, is that life is too short to be lying and manipulating people. Right? Life is too short to even be lying about yourself, because when you accept who you are, right? And when you are comfortable with who you are, you will attract other people that are comfortable being around you, even if it's not what the majority of society say is acceptable. If it's who you want to be, this is who you want to be, right? So I'm just here to say that it's 2021. Stop manipulating. Don't be ashamed about who you are, where you want to go. And like I said, this is not for church folks. There's a whole other sermon about how I honestly feel like relationships should go. But like I said, there are people out there who are like this. You gotta speak the truth, and you gotta speak to the people who live this way. I mean, if you're gonna do it, but be honest about who you are, right? That's all. That's it to it. Y'all have a blessed Saturday, and happy Juneteenth.